I love living in Wooler. It has a great community feel about it. You only need to go for a pint of milk on the high street and you're there for about half an hour because everybody's so friendly. In Wooler, you know, everyone sort of knows each other, so once you know someone, it's not about what they're wearing or what music they listen to, you know. It's like quite an accepting place.
I think one of the special things about living in Wooler is the generations of people that live here. There are, you know, sometimes 4 generations of one family still living within the town.
Today we've been playing the Glendale Festival in Wooler, which is like, it's just like a free festival which happens every year in the summer. The Glendale Festival is a huge success. Everybody's relaxed and enjoys all the activities and events that's going on. And every year it just gets better.
Well, historically there's loads and loads to see, apart from the hills and that, which are just lovely. You know, there's a lot of natural history in this area. Flodden's just up the road. It's endless, really, and we have a good tourist information centre.
And what you see here is a typical hill fort. You just walk all over hill forts, all over the Cheviots. It's the most amazing landscape.
I love the landscape around here. When I get out into the hills, it's just really a breath of fresh air. There's heather up there, there's bracken, there's fantastic views, there's rolling hills, there's gorgeous streams. It's just a great sense of being in the countryside.
Once I'm a bit older, I won't be still living in Wooler, but I would come back for this band. It's worth coming, you know, it is worth coming back to Wooler every week to play with this band because it's such a good thing to have in us, you know. It's really, really good. Playing bands at the Chevy Chase is one of the more informal gigs where there's less people, you know, and there's not a lot of people sort of watching, like, really intent on you, but you're getting quite well appreciated.
So I grew up on an estate down in Newcastle, and it was 35, 38 years ago. And then people wouldn't damage other people's property or indeed hurt anybody. But I think now it's a lot more dangerous place. And I think really that perhaps subconsciously made me decide, having children, I was going to move out to the countryside, but also to give my children a better chance as well. I think really what made us realise I'd made the right decision was joining the fire service and going around meeting local people. Sometimes, you know, in bad situations, sometimes in good situations. But because of that, you realise what a solid community we've got here. The school's not just vital for the children, it's also vital for the adult population of Wooler as well.
We don't have a leisure centre, so it's used in terms for education and leisure purposes. The school itself is situated below Wooler at the foot of the Cheviot Hills. Where the school is built was where the prisoner of war camp was. Much earlier than that is where the English soldiers camped before the Battle of Flodden. Pause there so you have a okay? 1, 2.
Well, Noel himself is really part of Wooler, a real sort of stalwart of the community. There'll be very, very few people in Wooler that haven't been involved in something that Noel's provided. That's right. Keep fit, the nights of entertainment like this, and having taught for 34 years here, you've taught the children and the parents and even some grandparents, so we've got right through the lot.
He doesn't leave anybody out. He's got time for absolutely everybody, and everybody loves him.
He's an enormous character and infectiously enthusiastic. You know, I think that's the thing, you cannot help but be motivated by him.
I take great satisfaction in the kid who improves his own performance regardless of others. You can only be good for yourself.
First thing is to get rid of the barbecue, which we won't be needing just yet.
So again, at the start, I'll let them know that you aim for the person with the yellow vest.
Got about an hour to the start, so we're getting things are getting pretty hectic at the moment, you know. So.
Where's the toilet? Where's the toilet? Have you got any water?
Yeah. So that's the one where they've got to hear that beep.
Yeah. This is the busiest one, obviously, because it's the first in the race, so you get most people coming through in blocks, so there are more of us on here, and marshalling is definitely the better option. I'm a plodder through the hills. I can't contemplate doing 20 miles as they do. It's just fantastic.
Over the years, organising the Chevy Chase, I've met a huge cross-section of people. There's always the characters who stand out. There was a chap called Gordon Reevely, taxi driver from Blythe, and he's turned out to be a good friend. He's a great bloke. When I met him, he was covered from head to toe in tattoos.
I see you're putting a little bit weight off.
300 people on the day, absolutely fantastic. Everybody's an equal. Nobody's different, you're all going for that 20 mile.
I've never been as old as this.
That was the first event I ever did, and since then it's just totally changed my life.
I'll have to get in though.
Absolutely and completely. Changed man from being a bit of a bad lad and boozing, no drinking at all now. Just look forward to meeting these people every week if I can, but especially every year at the Chevy Chase. That's the anniversary. The very first event I've done 16 now.
I was supposed to take part in a sponsored walk for a friend of mine and couldn't make it, and said, oh, I know of a thing I could take part in instead, without realising how arduous it actually is.
The Chevy Chase, it's a great event. It's a 20-mile fell race that takes place in North Northumberland. Takes you through the Cheviot Hills. There's categories for walkers and walk runners, but I like to run it myself. It's the highlight of my year, really, and it's also really the main reason why I moved to Wooler.
This year is a capacity, and in fact there was a waiting list. Obviously that's an environmental capacity, because we rely on the local landlords being quite kind about it.
This is where we meet the running club on a Tuesday evening for a run up in the hills.
We can run at 6 o'clock in the morning and see birds of prey, see deer. You know, everything fades into insignificance because it is so wonderful.
Well, we're the Northumberland National Park Search and Rescue Team, and we work under Northumbria Police with our local sister team, North of Tyne, and cover the whole of the Northumbria Police area. About 50%, would you say, of our work is in the hills. And so here today we're actually doing a rescue cover, just to be in the right place at the right time if anything goes wrong on the actual race itself. And the race is a big circuit, and we're sort of slap bang in the middle of it, in the valley, so that whatever goes off in any particular area, we can cover it. We've also got people on the hill at various locations. Normally this event is a safe event, but I mean, you always have to be prepared for the full range of things, and that's basically why we're here.
We have a little problem with the cuts. We have these perpetual trophies, so we never actually see the trophies except on Chevy Chase race day. So we never know what condition we're in, we're never quite sure what's happening to them until race morning.
Beautiful day for it, mate.
Some champagne and some last year.
And Brasso.
Morning.
We provide the emergency communications, and the reason why we're here is that a lot of the outstations who are providing communications with control can't actually talk to control. Those that can't talk to Wooler directly talk to Wooler through me. Rennet Control, Broadstrother.
Yes. Two old friends.
Yes. We know each other from races, from time and time again, that's all.
Every year, 65,
and we know we're all
70.
getting a bit older and a bit slower.
But he can talk a bit, you know. Bye, have you not noticed? Very good talker. And the other one's Roy Bainbridge. I think he's over 70. He frothers at the mouth. Took away in an ambulance from the Durham Dales about 5 years ago. But he's all right. You had to tell him at the hospital he was an athlete, he wasn't dying.
Kelly X, say you're likewise. Out. Good. We've got good communications with the people in the valley now, so we're okay, we're all set up here and ready to go. All we need is a race to look after.
The actual history of Chevy Chase is based upon, well, there's two things. One was Percy escaping from in the Battle of Outerburn and being chased by the Douglases. The other story is that the Percys were hunting in the Chevets and in pursuit of a stag crossed over the border onto Douglas territory. Obviously, the Douglases and his band chased after them, the hunter being hunted. That's what the Chevy Chase is legendary.
Basically, we're trying to make sure that we've got a note of everyone that comes through and the time that they've got, because although we've got an electronic means, this is belt and braces, and it means that, you know, we definitely know who's through, and keep track of everyone and make sure we don't lose anyone on the course. Thank you.
Your next checkpoint is going to be down there in by that large woodland, and Section 39s, I'm not quite sure of the law, but there are several of them in the national park, and what they are, areas where they're especially trying to protect the wildlife and the plant life. And what's happened is that us voluntary rangers were allocated Section 39s, and that one down there is one that my wife and I look after, 4.5 miles all the way round, so it's quite a large one.
I live in Wooler, and this is my back garden. I'm very pleased to say, and I just love the park.
Well done.
Yeah.
Most of my friends are in the football, in the cricket and things like that. Some of them just don't do sport at all, really. It's just modern day technology. It keeps your body working, doesn't it? Rather than sitting down at home, you've got something to do.
Well done. Well done.
We've had, I think it's 106 through so far, with some runners expected fairly soon.
34. 34. Thank you.
Hi, welcome.
Is
that
33?
33.
Well done. That's you, Dodson. That's it, well done.
Ten minutes ago we had a minor incident at a farm way out here called Broadstruthers, where somebody had injured their ankle, and we had a vehicle full of people only about 1.5 kilometres away. They've actually since then gone down, had a quick look at his ankle, and they're evacuating the person back to Wooler. And then they'll be back on station for later on in the event. And as they go round the event, we put people in different positions so that we can cover any of the problems.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like all the Cheviots, but I always have since I was small. But on that day, it's like the huge family has all got together, you know, with additions, new people, and the old ones are still there.
Everybody who takes part becomes equal from the start, because the Chevy Chase is all about a personal challenge. They want to do their best. Some people use it as a barometer of their existence from one year to the next.
This is my last one. It's my 26th. I've done 25.
You can be a farmer, you could be a lawyer, a doctor.
From millionaires to people on the dole, you're all one on that day.
I've got my bladder upside down. That's you, well done.
North Northumberland offers a great deal of space and beautiful countryside, and is relatively unpopulated. And this is due, importantly, because of the landowners who have conserved the countryside, their lands, and conserved it and taken care of it and looked after it.
Well, here we are at Langley Crags, 1,388 feet above sea level. And if it was a bit clearer, you would pick out the runners coming up Scald Hill and onto the summit of Cheviot. We're lucky enough in Northumberland to have a fantastic landscape. It's been described and well known as the land of the far horizons. You can see for miles and miles and miles. It's just amazing. The reason Cheviot's there, it was a volcano 400 million years ago, and it's still standing higher than anything else in Northumberland. Come down the backside of Cheviot into the burn at the bottom, cross the burn, and up onto Hedgehope Hill. You never know when you start if you're gonna, how far you're gonna get, how you're gonna do. But you're just inspired by the people around you, by the landscape, by the challenge. Even just a glass of water can taste like the finest French wine when you're on top of Hedgehope and you look around you and you think, I'm exhausted, but I've still got 10 miles of hard slog to do. My wife and son and his friend are here. We've set up 2 flags, which hopefully will guide in the walkers and runners from the distance there in Hedgehope. There's a couple of spectators here, one of them being Jeff Cobbing, who took part in the first Chevy Chase.
There was only about 10 to 20 people competing each year. And then cross-country running took off and it suddenly got popular virtually overnight.
All the hard stuff over.
26.
Borrow your legs.
Doing such an arduous physical event like the Chevy Chase, there are times when you really do feel on your last legs.
Do it the first time, yeah.
Oh, it's addictive, isn't it?
No.
No.
This will be the last year.
At the checkpoints, all checkpoints are encouraged to sort of cheer on, give them sweets, we give them water, although they have to carry their own emergency food supplies in cases of need. We've never had any real disasters in the Chevy Chase, which is fortunate, because it can happen on these events, because it's such a tough thing to run in the hills. You never know how your body's going to react. You could feel fine at breakfast, dinner time, you could just be a shivering wreck of jelly.
It's come along the Kerry Burn's often the worst part of the whole run because it's so near the end, and by that time people are very, very tired.
We're going to do it.
We received a radio call from Raynet saying there was a person who had collapsed and needed immediate medical attention. We've turned up. The guy's behind the vehicle now in a distressed state. NHS paramedics here now with his heart monitor, defibrillator, blood pressure cuff on him. He's complaining of tingling in his mouth and his fingers and his body. A very good case of heat exertion and heat stroke.
Last checkpoint.
690. For a drink? Right. One there. Feel like I'm just starting.
That's the winner. 37.
Well done. Yeah, fine there.
Yeah.
Oh, you say that one next year.
Ah, I mean it this time.
1440.
Water there.
Thanks very much.
Oh. Oh. Some water there for you.
Yeah.
There you
Okay, thank you.
go. Go twice now. Yeah. That's it twice. That's twice more than I've done it.
This is what I was meaning, House Path.
I mean, you're following in the footsteps of the border reivers. Well, it was a lawless land. There was no laws at all. People used to do what they wanted. They used to raid each other's cattle, steal each other's wives, cause all sorts of mayhem. And they had a phrase for that then called shake and loose the border. These historical happenings were like to link them with the present-day Chevy Chase. You know, it's a very strenuous event, taking part in the Chevy Chase, 20 miles, 4,000 feet of accumulated ascent, and roughly 48,000 steps to get around the route. And I mean, that shakes loose the body in more ways than one. So, you know, we like to think that's a good connection.
Control to stand by.
So 2 to come.
2 to come.
The pain.
It's cruel.
Never again springs to mind.
Oh, hey. It's the hardest few I've stood in my life.
Even the last couple of miles to the youth hostel on the road can seem like, you know, the last mile's always the longest.
Since we took it over as a running club, it's been highlighted in Muller itself even more than it was before. And as a result of it, we've got quite a lot of the actual locals helping in some way, if not participating in the actual event.
The numbers 269, 272, 673, 684 and 685, you're saying they're all accounted for, Owen?
They're non-existent.
Would you mind putting some water in there for me?
Not at all.
What you're equipped with a little dibber, which goes on your wrist, which is an electronic timing device. As you go through each of the checkpoints, you effectively dib. You hand that over to the guy and they can download it onto a computer and immediately can print out the results for you, which give you all your split times through each individual checkpoint, which is obviously good for the runners, but also good from a safety point of view, because you can see where people have possibly got lost.
Wrecked. First and last time.
Enjoy it?
Oh, well, I'm enjoying this bit. Well, never again. Not next year.
I've got sausage fingers.
The first male overall, and that was David Kirkland from Annick Harriers. And the first local male was Glenn McWilliam of Wooler Running Club.
See you sometime, Ray. Ta-ra.
Goodbye now.
Bye-bye now.
We've currently got people who are about to start walking the last bit of the route. They're moving down from the top end of the valley where they've spent the day out on the hills, and they're moving down to the end of the valley that's nearer to where we are.
We kind of left him because his fitness is a bit lower, you know, so he was with loads of people.
He said go
on, so we just left him, you know, but he's competent map reading and stuff like and navigate like we thought he was anyway.
I think I do this beautifully.
Take the right rather than the left on the road, it could be down there, and that needs to be driven as well. Has it been done?
He's fitting well.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, but they said he's incoherent. He's incoherent. So it's always like that.
He'll be
I
dehydrated.
think that's a great feeling of relief.
God. Yeah.
I've been search and rescue for you lads.
So you're happy with the route?
Happy with it.
What do you think about changing it?
Change it?
Should we change the route?
No.
It's all right as it is.
No, just don't let me come back on it.
Like the Waltons, innit?
In a nutshell, I think the Chevy Chase is all about the spirit of the hills and the human spirit coming together, this fellowship of mankind. It's just, I mean, it sounds corny, but I think that's what people thrive on when they take part in the Chevy Chase. That's what they can take away with them. That's a memory they can keep all their life, and that's what brings them back year after year. Just that spirit, which you know, you can't buy.
Next up, Earth Reports investigates issues affecting our planet. After the break on Community Channel.
Hey, what's this? Just because you're clogging up your arteries with junk food doesn't mean you have to drag me down with you. You humans are all the same. Eating unhealthily, getting fat, it's a crime against nature.